In our last Liza P video, we went over all of the brand new DLC weapons and we ranked them. I actually did that live here and on Twitch. If you haven't checked out the video, it's going to be linked in the description. In this video, I'm going to show you some brand new configurations that are insanely powerful. They're all going to be tested with a fully upgraded blade with my endgame character at level 109, which started off as Path of the Sweeper. I also chose to stay at 59% equip load and under, but I also wanted to use the best defensive parts. So we're going to be speccing into a lot of capacity in these builds, but feel free to adjust capacity as you see fit. Each weapon will have a full build with recommended stat allocation and amulets to use. The only thing I won't recommend would be the Legion arm to use. I'll leave that for you to decide. Keep in mind these weapons are not ranked in any particular order. And with that said and done, let's go ahead and start with number one. Our first weapon is going to have both parts coming from the DLC. We're going to be using the Maniac's Pinwheel Blade with the La Vendetta handle. The Pinwheel Blade has a unique feature where if you dodge or use your grindstone, both blades will start to spin. As you can see here up in the top corner, you're going to see it go from 1 to 4, which is going to be the last stage that you can get. Not only is this going to help proc the multi-hit amulet, but you're also going to be increasing your damage dramatically. You're also going to be doing a little bit more posture damage. The handle also has a useful feature where it's going to spin the full blade, which means that even if the wheels aren't spinning, the blade is still going to be turning on its vertical axis. This synergizes really well together because you're going to be having the full blade spinning and the wheel spinning. As you can see here, we're going to be doing some massive damage against the Two-Faced Overseer. The Blade Fable charge is somewhat underwhelming. You go forward, that gives you a few iframes, and at the end, you're going to be able to tank an attack, kind of like having Endure at the very end of it. However, the Handle Fable Patient Swing is what's going to make this weapon really shine. For only one Fable charge, your character is going to go into what looks like a batter stance, and then swing at your enemy exactly as if they were a baseball. Now, the nice thing about this is that it's chargeable. If you have your multi-hit at stage 4 and your wheel spin at stage 4, you're going to be doing massive damage. Now, unfortunately, this blade weighs 16.2 units. The handle weighs 5.1. This means that we're going to be speccing into a lot of capacity. Recommended stats for this build are 30 vitality, 15 vigor, 45 capacity, 47 motivity, 5 technique, and 6 advance. For amulets, you want the Carrier's Amulet +1, Extreme Modification Amulet, Arm of God, and for the fourth slot, you're going to switch between the Puppet Destroyers, Murderer Puppets, or the Carcass Butcher's Amulet depending on the location you're at or the boss that you're going to be facing. And next up, we have the Coil Mjolnir head with the Silent Evangelist Mace handle from the DLC. This head is one of the harder hitting heads. It has a whopping 71.47 damage reduction rate while guarding. And the Fable Art Thunderstrike is absolutely useful as it adds shock damage to your weapon when you use it. And it is a little bit on the expensive size at 3 Fable bars. In the clip you're watching, you're going to see the damage difference between using the weapon with and without Thunderstrike active. The handle is probably going to be my favorite that came out of the DLC, as the moveset is just absolutely amazing. You have wide horizontal swipes that lunge in for distance. The moveset is relatively fast, and the Fable Art linked payback swing pairs really well with the Conquering Amulet, which based on my testing again against the puppet in the training grounds is going to give you around an extra 25% damage boost to your next attack. Which means, yes, we are going to be running the multi-hit as well. So if you can get to stage 4 on the multi-hit and have the Fable head active as well, you're going to be doing massive damage. Which, speaking of, let's go ahead and cut to this other fight real quick so you can see how it does against Romeo. This boss actually gave me quite the headache my very first playthrough. I took a break from it, came back, was finally able to beat him, and now this has become one of my favorite Souls games of all time. But let's go ahead and go over the level 109 stats that I have. It's going to be the exact same stats as last time, which is 30 vitality, 15 vigor, 45 capacity, 47 motivity, 5 technique, and 6 advance. For amulets, I went with the Carrier's Amulet +1, Conquering Amulet, Arm of God, and as usual for the fourth slot, we're going to be using either the Puppet, Murderers, or Carcass Amulets depending on the area you're in or the boss that you're facing. That's going to conclude our 2 motivity-based weapons. I did have a motivity crank on both setups. The nice thing about both of these setups is that you can seamlessly switch between them two depending on what you prefer to use. Next, let's move on to a technique setup, which is going to feature the pistol rock drill blade and the Lorenzini bolt handle. We're going to be doing a good old-fashioned crit build here. So for sure, you're going to want to use the Satisfaction grindstones because we're going to want to stack the init critical rate from the actual blade itself, the Fable Art grind, plus the Assassin's Amulet, which means with everything active, 100% of your hits are going to be critical hits. Now, once your Satisfaction grindstone has ended, 9 out of 10 of your hits are still going to be critical hits. Let me get the biggest downside to this build right off the bat. It's going to be the range. The range is going to be terrible with your light attacks. However, this is why we're going to pair it with the Lorenzini bolt handle. It's going to give you nothing but stab attacks. And the charged heavy is going to propel your character forward, covering massive distance to get in there with your light attacks. Another reason why I like this handle is because of the Fable Art single stab. Your character is going to thrust forward and it comes out really fast. Unfortunately, it does cost 3 Fable slots, but it is going to be worth it. As you're going to see here towards the end of this fight with Romeo, we're going to take out a huge chunk of his health bar. I went with a technique crank, which is going to give you an A in technique and a D in motivity. And for level 109, your stats are going to be 30 vitality, 15 vigor, 42 capacity, 15 motivity, 40 technique, and 6 advance. For amulets, you want the Carrier's Amulet +1, Assassin's Amulet, Arm of God, and as usual for the 4th slot, the Puppet Murderer's Carcass amulets depending on the boss or enemy that you are facing. One thing I almost forgot to mention is that if you hold the heavy attack while you're sprinting, your character is going to go zooming around the map, which is not too useful, but pretty freaking cool. Our last 2 weapons are going to be for advanced builds. This first one is going to be using the Silent Evangelist Mace head, pairing it with the Black Steel Cutter handle. When I first came across this head in the DLC, I was highly intrigued because the head itself does pure physical damage. However, the Fable Art sprays acid. The Silent Evangelist Mace handle does not have innate advanced scaling, so other than upgrading the weapon, there's no way to get more damage from the acid. So I started messing around with handles that did come with innate advanced scaling. I almost went with the electric coil stick handle because of the Fable Art, but thinking about it, I was telling myself, we don't need the Fable Art on the handle, as you're basically just going to be spamming the Fable Art from the head. Acid Spray only costs 1 Fable slot, shoots 3 streams of acid that has medium range. It does acid buildup relatively quick, and with the advanced scaling, you're going to be melting bosses with it. As you can see here, even though I'm getting destroyed, when I do connect with Acid Spray, Marchiona is just getting absolutely obliterated. The reason I went with the Black Steel Cutter handle is because of the moveset and because of the fact that it already comes with an A in advance. With an advanced crank, you're going to be pushing that up to an S. If you would like to go into more physical damage, you can go with the electric coil stick handle and possibly go with a motivity crank. Or you can still go with an advanced crank on it and get an A in advanced, C in motivity, and D in technique. But I wanted to shoot for maximum damage out of the Fable Art. Plus, you're going to be getting great damage out of your consumables that scale with the advance. And you're going to be getting great damage out of the Legion arms that scale with advance as well. So it's a win-win-win situation here. Yes, unfortunately, this combination is going to have a relatively short range. But in my opinion, this is going to be an easy trade-off considering the damage that you're going to be getting from all different sources. My level 109 stats are 30 vitality, 15 vigor, 43 capacity, 15 motivity, 5 technique, and 40 advance. For amulets, we're going with the Carrier's Amulet +1, the Arm of God, and of course either the Puppet Murderer's Carcass Amulet, depending on your enemy. As for the 4th slot, we're going with the DLC Amulet, the Nightmare's Amulet. This is going to boost your elemental damage after the status effect has been procced. In this case, once we inflict acid upon our enemy, they will take increased damage done by the same elemental status. Now, I don't have an exact percentage as to how much it was because based on my testing, it seemed like it was only 5%, but I'm sure somebody in the comment section is going to help me out and correct me. If you're at higher levels, I would definitely recommend looking at the electric coil stick handle and going with either an advanced crank or a motivity crank so you can boost both the Fable Art damage and your physical damage. And for our last weapon, we're going to be pairing the Salamander Dagger Blade with the Puppet of the Future Welder's Handle. Before anybody tells me why not use the Black Steel Cutter Blade because you're going to get better range, I put them side by side, same stats, same amulets. We went ham on the Puppet, and as you can see, the Salamander Dagger Blade wins in damage by a long shot. In this clip, you're going to see exactly why I paired the dagger with this handle. First, you'll see the damage without any buffs on, just the amulets. Then we'll put on the handle buff, fire amplification, which is going to increase our fire damage, which is what we're 100% doing with the light attack. Then I'll show you with all buffs active, fire amplification, and ignite from the Blade Fable art, which is also going to boost our fire damage attack, which is just complete synergy between Blade, Fable, amulets. Just as the last build, we can also use consumables, throwables, which have advanced scaling, and you can use any and all of the Legion arms that scale with advance. I was very surprised and impressed at just how well everything goes together for this build. Let's go ahead and go over the stats and amulets, although it is going to be the same as the last one. We'll go over it again if you didn't watch it. This is going to be a level 109 build. You're going to want 30 vitality, 15 vigor, 43 capacity, 15 motivity, 5 technique, and 40 advance. As for your amulets, they're going to be the same. You're going to want the Carrier's Amulet +1, Nightmare's Amulet, Arm of God, and of course the Puppet, Murderers, or Carcass amulets depending on the enemies that you will be facing. And that's going to be it for this video. You now have 5 new combinations that you can try out in New Game Plus or towards the middle end of your DLC playthrough. I had a really fun time messing around with the new DLC weapons, but let me know what you think down in the comments. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe for more content. If you like these builds or found them lacking, let me know as well. And if you'd like to see more combination videos, let me know down in the comments, as there were some combinations that did not make it in. If I got anything wrong or left anything out, also let me know down in the comments. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.